right, so let's get started. Again, I'm Jackie. Thank you so much for coming this morning, or if you're watching later on, that's awesome. We're gonna start by bringing our hands to our hips to our waist. If you have any questions during the video or the music's too loud, feel free to just pop a comment and I can answer those. Hands to hips or waist, feet are hip distance apart. Start to lift those knees up and up, up and up. Pointed toes, up and up. Just marching, arms come to what's called a goalpost position. Keep going here. Add a press up here, press up and up and up and up. Add a twist here, twist and twist. Pointed toes, belly in. Now as you do these twists, you can look over your opposite shoulder. That's going to create a little challenge to your balance. If you start to fall over, come back to center and just stay looking forward. Last two. And last one, release. Come to a wide second, hands to hips or waist, bend your knees, pulse down and down. We're just doing 30 pulses here to warm up your thighs, warm up your outer glutes. Press into the outer edge of your feet. You should be able to wiggle your big toe. Shoulder blades are pulled back, belly's pulled in. Just 10 more. We're gonna come into some plank work. If you have your sliders, great. If not, also great, you don't need them. Last 5 counts here, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, release. If you have sliders or paper plates, put your feet on them. If not, just step back from your mat. Take a deep breath, inhale, arms up, mini back bend here, look up at the ceiling, arch that back. And then fold forward, reach for your toes. Hang here for a breath. We're about to do a little bit of plank work, okay? You're gonna want this breath. So deep inhale, exhale, breathe out, walk those hands forward. Come into your straight arm plank position. Legs are straight. Now if you have the sliders, you're gonna pull your right knee in, then your left. So it's right, then left. Right. Now if no sliders, just right, left, right, left, right. Just toward the same side, shoulder. Keep going. And left, right, and left. All right. Now if you're using sliders, you're sliding on these as you go back and forth. If you're not using sliders, then you're gonna see that you're just doing a little more cardio. 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, breathe out, and come onto your forearm plank. Shoulders right over elbows. If you need more support, drop to your knees, pull your heels to your seat. Hold here to start. We're gonna do a little bit more work for our core here. By lifting and lowering our hips, it's gonna be a really tiny movement, okay? Now, if you have the sliders, you're gonna use them. If you don't have the sliders, you're still gonna do the same movement. We're gonna lift our hips in 2 counts and then lower them in 2 counts, working that core. Lift, 2, lower. Now, if you have the sliders, slide up, slide down, slide up, slide down. No sliders, no problem, just lift and lower. All right, let's do about 4 more of those, then we're gonna take a child's pose. If this feels like too much, just hold in a plank. No big deal, you don't have to take the add-on option. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Take that child's pose, palms face the ceiling, thumbs pull down toward the mat. Anything felt weird? Just next time do a plank the whole time. You don't have to ever do any of the options. Those are really, really, truly options. It's not a fake option. It's a real option. Hands a little wider than your shoulders. Let's do a set of push-ups here, okay? Separate those knees about hip distance apart and then pull your heels to your seat tightly. Squeeze your glutes, tuck your hips under. 2 counts down, down for 2. Press up for 2. 5 more like this, down for 2. Press up for 2. Now what I'll see in class is people doing this. See how my butt's staying in the air? You gotta bring your butt with you. So bring your butt with you, hips come with you. 10 singles and you're done. Down and up. Okay, sometimes I'll see people doing this where they kind of bring their hips with them, but my shoulders need to be over my wrist. So I want you to shift that way forward, shoulders over wrists. And then don't let your feet drop like this. Pull your heels to your seat. Last 2. Last 1. Take that child's pose. Palms face the ceiling, thumbs pull down toward the mat. If your heart is beating, that's good. It's a little bit of a cardio there, cardio boost to start class. Get that heart rate up. And now you're gonna swing those feet around. We're gonna do some tricep work. If you have a slider, you're gonna place it underneath your heels, okay? If you don't, that's fine. Just flex your feet, bring your feet down toward the ground, on the ground. Fingertips come behind you, then turn your fingers out out to the side so they're more at 10 and 2 than at 12. Lift your seat off the ground, and then I want you to shift back so your ribs brush your upper arms, okay? Let's keep those knees together today. Feet together. Bend your knees. Bend your elbows down and up. It's down and up. Down. Now if you'd like, you can add a little push out, pull in. Little push out of the slider. Hamstring work. If you don't have the slider, no big deal. Just work on your triceps right now. Press those heels a little more deeply into the ground. Faster. Pulse and pulse. Shift that weight back. Shoulders are right over your wrists, okay? Try not to be in a position where you're like this. See how my shoulders are coming forward? Shift them back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You can pull that slider in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Cross your ankles. Lift up your arms and roll out your wrists in both directions. And then come to standing. Place your sliders to the side. We're not using them for our arm set. We are using weights, so pick up weights if you have them. I like to do heavier weights for biceps. Elbows pull into wings. Here we go. Curl, uncurl, curl, uncurl. All right, let's check that form just while we are in our regular bicep curl. Your feet are hip distance apart and parallel. There's a soft bend in your knees, and your knees track right over your toes. So I want you to take a quick look down. Make sure that your knees are not going out to the side or coming in. Sometimes people will come and say, oh, I had knee pain after bar class. It's probably because you weren't in the right alignment at some part during class. So we just want to make sure you're in perfect alignment the entire time. And you're curling, working on your bicep here. So we're not here long. That's why I like those heavier weights. If you have 5-pound weights, even 8-pound weights, a lot of women can handle more than they think when it comes to biceps. Men usually know that they want something heavy for biceps. You can probably do more than 2 pounds, but it's also totally fine to just do 2. Last 3. Hold it halfway up. Little pulses up by squeezing your biceps. Just squeeze, squeeze. Just squeeze those bicep muscles. Think squeeze. So the only reason my hand is moving is I'm squeezing this bicep so hard. Little squeeze. It just lifts my wrist. Look at that. It's about 1/4 of an inch. That's it. 10 more. 9, 8, 7. We'll do some more bicep curls when we do our tricep extensions. This is our last few for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms come to a goal pose position. Relax your shoulders. We're going to do 3 moves here. So it's chest press, goal post, back, then back to goal post. All right? So in, out, down, goal post, chest press, back work. All right? Those are the positions we're moving through. And think of this as a fluid movement. So all at the same time, don't rush to get to any position. We're going to end with 10 chest presses. A lot of work to lift those arms from that back position. So it's a back workout, then a shoulder, then a chest. Relax those shoulders. Try not to let them creep up into your ears for 4. Again, try and relax everything here. This is 3. Last 2 here. And last 1, give me 10 chest presses. We come in. Now, if the weights are too much, I want you to drop the weights. You're not going to make it. It's totally fine. We just have a lot more to go, and you're not going to make it with the weights. It's not a big deal. That means you fatigued your muscles. That's a good thing. All right, that means you're so tired you can't do the weights anymore. That's what we want. Hold it in little punches up. Up. Bring those elbows directly in front of your shoulders now. Almost like your your forearms are framing your face like a picture frame. Inhale, exhale, arms extend out, straight in front of you, little circles in. Try and drive this movement from your chest muscles right here. Think of squeezing in, and then switch directions, circle out. Soft bend in those knees, belly pulls in. And then we're gonna bring these arms into a V position, palms face the ground. We lower, lift, bend, stretch, lower, lift. I'm going to explain it a little bit more for new people, okay? So it's lower, lift. The lowering is to about belly button height of your wrist. Belly button height of your wrist, okay? So we're not coming all the way down. That would give your shoulder a break. We're stopping at that halfway point. Now, if you don't know what a bend stretch is, it's a tiny bend of your elbow and a big stretch. I'm going to exaggerate it. So if I exaggerate it, it looks like this, but we're not going to do it that big. It's really just a stretch of your arm. Almost like you're flattening out your elbow. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's come to that T position. Little pulses up. Up, soft bend of those knees. Palms face me. 10 pulses. We're almost done with our shoulder work. We're gonna go into our back and we're gonna go into our triceps to finish. Palms face the ceiling. Keep breathing. Let's bring those palms to face the wall behind you for your last 10, 9, 8. Don't drop those weights. You've made it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Hinge forward. Pretend you're hugging a big beach ball with your arms, elbows up for 2. Lower, down for 2. Working into that back. It's up for 2 and down for 2. Keep going with this slow motion and down for 2. Just like we did with our push-ups at the beginning of class, we're doing a few slow to start, and then we will pick up the pace with those afterward. Inhale, exhale. Hold it up. 30 pulses, and you're done. Here we go. Pulse and pulse. Now this pulse, this lifting up of your elbows, is coming from squeezing right between your shoulder blades. So in class, I'll come around, put my fingers here and say, squeeze my finger. That's what you're going for here, is a squeeze of that finger by using your muscles, not momentum. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Bring those weights onto your back. Let's finish with some tricep and bicep work. Soft bend in those knees. Arms extend straight behind you. I want those arms stick straight. We curl. In, extend. In, extend. Bicep curl, tricep extension. Now I really want you to emphasize the curl for the first part of this workout, okay? I'm not worried about your tricep right now. I'm worried about you getting one more set of biceps in here. You should have 2 to 3 pound weights or no weights at all. And it's a big, if you have 5 pound weights, you're probably gonna end up in the wrong form at some point. Squeeze. Are you feeling this bicep engage? Maybe take those fingertips off the weights. Feel your thumb touch your shoulder. Can you get a little closer? All the way, and if that's easy to get your thumb to touch, make that fist. Try and get your knuckle to touch, squeeze. All right, we're gonna work into our triceps, only 5 more. This is 4, that's 3, 2, hold those arms up on 1, little pulses up, up, shoulder blades pull back. Now I want you to focus on your tricep, okay? The way to do that is a straight arm. If your arm's bent like this, you're gonna work into the back of your shoulder, which is totally fine, but don't you wanna work on 2 muscles at once? By straightening your arm, you're working on 2 muscles at the same time. Back of your shoulder here, back of your arm, and then your tricep also, so you're getting a double workout. Flip those palms to face the ceiling, up and up. Shoulder blades are pulled back, belly's pulled in. The weight should be in the balls of your feet, so shift that weight a little bit forward. Some of you probably can come onto the balls of your feet to finish here. Palms face each other again, then stretch it out. Last 20. Stretch, stretch, stretch. We actually go into a nice arm stretch next, so stay strong. Get those weights 3 inches higher for your last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Drop those weights down to the ground if you have weights in your hands. Bring your feet hip distance apart and parallel. Right arm across your chest. Pull and roll your shoulder down. Let's stretch that out. So you should have a soft bend in your knees. And a lot of people tend to do this with their shoulder. I want you to drop it so that it's almost like you're balancing a ruler on your shoulders. And then bring this right arm up for a tricep stretch. Give a gentle tug, soft bend of your knees. Hinge to the left, look under your bicep. Instead of crunching to the side, think of growing taller, like you're pulling your elbow to the ceiling. And switch sides, left arm across, roll your shoulder down. Stretching is a time to focus on lengthening your muscles to build tone instead of bulk. Especially if you're using heavier weights for that first set, you're gonna get bulky if you don't stretch everything out. So take this time, stretch it out. Tricep stretch, hinge over, look under your bicep. Soft bend in those knees. Let's stretch out those shoulders one more time. Walk those feet wider than your hips, fingertips behind your back. Lift your thumbs up, and then bend your knees, hinge forward. Come into a forward fold here. Fingertips press closer toward me, toward the camera if you're facing me. Release your hands to the ground, sway side to side, left to right. Stay folded over. I want you to look through your legs at the wall, whatever's behind you. Take a look there. Let your head hang heavy. Close your eyes if you need to. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Let everything relax one more time. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, and then roll up slowly. 5, roll up 4. I'm counting just so you go slow. And release. Bring your left hand to your support. If you have sliders, step on your sliders, 1 foot on each slider. Outside hand, hip or waist. Come high onto the balls of your feet and bend your knees. Pull your shoulder blades back. Belly pulls in. Down an inch, up an inch. Down an inch, up an inch. We're just bending our knees down and up an inch. Little down, little up. Little down, little up, little down. Okay, that's where we're starting. A couple of things about form when we're in a parallel position. I'll just show you what it looks like from the front here. My knees track right over my toes, just like we did all of that warm-up, but my knees are deeply bent. I'm not up here. All right, really easy. I know it still hurts if you stay up here. I want you to drop about 3 inches so you come to a challenge zone. Now we're gonna add on with the sliders. If you don't have a slider, you're gonna do the same movement, but without the slider, okay? I'm gonna cheat this and come at a slight angle so you can see what it looks like as I do this work. I'm gonna be moving my right leg out to the side and back in 2 counts. I go out for 2, come in for 2. Out for 2, my left knee stays bent, in for 2. Out for 2, in for 2. Now if you don't have a slider, it's just out for 2, in for 2. You just slide your toe on the ground there. Or maybe keep it an inch off the ground. 2. We're putting pressure into your left leg right now. Your left leg is getting all this work. Then we'll do a set, then we'll switch to the right side, okay? So right now your left leg should be feeling a lot of pressure. If it starts to shake, that's a good thing. It means you're doing it right. Now hold that leg out. Everybody lift it off the ground. Give me 20 pulses with your left leg. It's pulse, pulse. So it's a single-legged thigh set. Single leg thigh. Working into this glute here. If your leg feels weird, you could bend it in half. It's just along for the ride for 8, 7, 6. If you keep it out, it's a lot of weight for your glute. Little glute warm up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Push those sliders to the side if you're using them. Heels together, toes apart, wide V. Come high into the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, and then glue your heels together like you're holding a playing card between them. You don't want to drop. Pulse down an inch, up an inch, down. All right, I'm gonna cheat a little bit just so you can see what it looks like here, and down, and up. Now, ultimate goal, your knees are as wide as they are high. Down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, just like that, okay? Now we want high heels, not low heels, so get those heels really high. If your heels pop apart, just walk them closer together, okay? And that'll keep your back protected, and it gives you a little something to press into there, get a little extra zing up your glute. Try and relax those shoulders. Belly's pulled in. Slow it down, down, hold. Down, hold. Down, hold. Shoulders are pulled back. So what I'll see in class a lot is people leaning forward. This is your lower back trying to help you, right? Because this is so hard. Your back is saying, let me help you. Shift your shoulders right over your hips. Then I see people over tucking. They're in this tucked position. Relax your glutes. Shoulders right over hips. We're not leaning backward like this. Faster pulses to finish. You can take your right hand and bring it out to the side, in front or above. Just feel all the work that comes into your thighs when you remove that hand. You had like some work was coming into your grip here. Now it's not there anymore. Last 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Are you shaking? 3, 2, and 1. Release. Switch the other side for that parallel thigh position again. Come high into the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, outside hand, hip or waist, and we go down an inch, up an inch, down. So in class, sometimes people are doing this. That is way more than an inch. I want you to come to your level where you start to shake and go down and up from there. Down an inch, up an inch. I'll cheat the camera a little bit just so you can see what it looks like here. From the side, parallel. My knees are not getting closer together. My heels are not getting closer together. This is one where if you have the wrong knee position, you're gonna feel some knee pain. You gotta make sure those knees track right over those toes. Some people have a tendency to pull them in or out, or their ankles pull in or out. Now slide that leg out for 2, back in for 2. Out, 2, in for 2. Out, to the side, in. So it looks like I'm going on a diagonal on the screen. That's just because I'm cheating the camera. If I just go regular, you'll see it's right out to the side. Now there's a tendency when we do this for people to straighten their right leg because your right leg is feeling all this pressure. Do the opposite. Deeply bend your right knee even more. Relax those shoulders. Try and breathe. You know we get a stretch. After one more set, one of the longest stretches of class is there, okay? Now hold your leg out and just pulse, pulse, pulse. You can lift your leg off the ground to work into your glute. So you can imagine the leg that's off the ground, think of how heavy your leg is. All that weight's on this glute now. Okay, so you're getting a little glute warm up. Your right leg is pulsing. Pulse, pulse, last 10, 10. High heel for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's do one more set. Zipped up thigh. Walk your legs together. Left hand to the bar or right. Come onto the balls of your feet. Whatever position you like more, whatever direction you like to face. Down hold. Down hold. Shoulders over hips. Down hold. Heels are high. No low heels, okay? This is stretching out your foot. If you have plantar fasciitis, anything like that, consistent bar practice will help fix it. Up. Down with the hold. Down hold. Now the purpose of the down hold is to get you to hold a hard position. Down hold. Shoulders are right over hips. No pitching forward. No leaning back. No coming up high. This is your last set. I think one of the worst feelings in a bar class is when you get to the end and you think, oh, I should have given a little bit more. You want to feel like you can't give anything else. Faster pulses, pulse, pulse, pulse. Shoulder blades are pulled back, belly's pulled in, pulse, pulse. Add a squeeze of your knees. Down squeeze, down squeeze. Relax those shoulders. You're almost done. You've made it through one of the hardest parts of any bar class, the thigh set, okay? You've made it through the series. This is your finale. Feel really strong. If you feel strong enough today, take that hand off, out to the side, in front or above, whatever feels good, okay? And pulse, pulse. Check that grip on the bar. Is it a light grip or a death grip, okay? 30 more pulses, that's it. Can you drop 5 inches? Pulse, pulse, pulse. Squeeze those knees, pulse, squeeze. Working into those inner thighs, last 20, pulse and pulse. You get a stretch. In 10 counts, you get a long stretch. Drop 3 more inches. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, meet me here. 6, 5, my elbows below my support. 3, 2, and 1, release. Grab onto your right foot, bend your left knee, tuck your hips under. Don't lean forward, don't lean back. Just like in thigh, shoulders over your hips, switch sides. Pull your heel to your seat, bend your standing knee, tuck your hips under. Standing quad stretch. We're gonna do 20 push-ups and then we'll stretch everything out. Come down to the mat, hands wider than your shoulders, fingers turned inward, belly in, hips tucked, 20 singles. Down and up, down and up. We get the longest stretch of class next, okay? I love stretching, so it's always a long set for me. Inhale, exhale, and breathe. Last 8 counts here, it's 8. Press up. Can you get your chest a little lower? Instead of staying in the top of the range, let's work into those chest muscles. For 4, press up, and 3, and 2, and take that child's pose. Palms face the ceiling, thumbs pull down toward the mat. Feel those pinkies go up toward the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Breathe out. And then step that right foot forward. Let's come into some stretches, okay? You don't need any props for stretching today. Press your left hip forward, squeeze your left glute muscle and tuck it under. So I want you to squeeze here and tuck, right knees over your right heel. Form matters for the stretches as much as it does for the strengthening parts of class. This is the lengthening part. Reach behind you for your left foot with your right hand and take a kneeling quad stretch. If that's too much for you, uncurl your left toes and take a low lunge stretch. We're basically just stretching our quads one more time. If you're holding onto your foot, square your shoulders and try and get your right shoulder to touch your right knee. And then everyone shift back. This is a half split flat back stretch. Pull back on your right hip, forward with your left, press your chest forward. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, breathe out, try and stick that butt out. Left hip over left knee and slide wider, your version of a split. Could be a couple of inches, couple of feet, whatever feels good today. Inhale, exhale, and pull it like back in. Right hand meets left, everything on the other side. Left foot comes forward. Frame your foot, press your right hip forward. Left knee should be over your left heel. Squeeze your right glute, tuck your hip under. Inhale, exhale, and take your quad stretch. You can uncurl your right toes for a low lunge, or reach behind you for your right foot with your left hand square your shoulders. Keep a soft bend in your right elbow. Pull your heel to your seat. Sometimes people kind of let their foot just hang. I want you to actively pull it in. This is me letting it hang. This is me pulling it in. Feels different. And then release. Hip shift back, half split flat back stretch. If your hands don't reach the ground, just bring them to your thigh, just like this. Press your chest forward, almost like you're trying to arch your back.
Leg should be stick straight. Your left leg is stick straight. Your right hip's over your right knee. And then slide a little forward. Once you slide forward, you probably are able to bring your fingertips to the ground. Maybe you can come into a split, whatever you're working on. Inhale, exhale. And then pull that leg back in. Left hand meets your right. Swing your seat side to side. Uncurl those toes. Downward dog stretch. Pedal out your dog. And then walk your hands to your feet to your hands. And then come on up. If you have paper plates or sliders, you can grab those now. If you don't worry about it. We're going to start with our left hand on the bar. I feel like I can see you a little better on that side. Then we'll switch to the right, okay? Heels together, toes apart. You need a slider on your outside foot only. Inside arm is about elbows distance from the bar and about 10 inches in front of your waist, okay? Extend your right toes on a diagonal behind you. Soft bend in your left knee. Now there's a tendency to lean into the bar here. Right now I want you to pull away from your support a little bit so you're not leaning into it. You're kind of pressing into it while moving away from it. And then point your toe and you're gonna bring your leg side and back. Side, no slider, you're just going side, back, side and back, side and back. We're working right here, the corner of our seat. Now, this left leg, the deeper you can get that bend, the more you can pull away from the support, the more you're gonna work into your standing leg also. If you're newer to bar, that's gonna be a lot of work for that leg. We wanna make sure we get a workout on this outer glute. So don't bend your left knee as much. Soft bend, nice and light. And back, back, and back. All right, I'm gonna say something crazy right now. Your hips don't move in this. I know that sounds insane. If you're doing this perfectly, your hips stay square and level, and they are not moving. So you know that hand you have on your hip here? Maybe it was on your waist. Bring it to your hip and feel your hip stay in the same position. If that means your motion is not as big, that's totally fine. Maybe you gotta cut it in half. Hold it on the diagonal. Pulse up, 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 and up. Right here. We're actually almost done with the set. This is super intense if you're doing it right. If you're not listening to the cues, you probably are like, this is so hard. I could do this. This is hard, but it's not that difficult. How can you make this more difficult? Couple of things. Bend that standing leg. Pull away from your support. Now squeeze this glute to make your leg lift. Last 10, 9, right here, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, release. Shake it out. Let's switch to the other side. Heels together, toes apart. Extend your leg on a diagonal behind you. Bend your standing leg. Pull away from your support if you can. Outside hand on your hip. Slide and slide. Slide, slide, slide. Again, no slider, no problem. Just like that. Okay? Now as you slide your leg, remember what we said about the other side? Hips are square and level. So there's a tendency to kind of open your hip like this. I'm exaggerating, but something like this. You're still gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it more if you do this. All right, this set is super simple because it's so hard. I want you to dig deep, think of the muscle that you're working, it's that side glute. Now with our leg in this low position and our hips level, your back can't help you. So when we do this up here, right, sometimes we do this, your back's helping you a little bit. Your obliques are helping you, your shoulders are helping you. Here, it's all glute. So this actually will feel harder in the muscle than if you had your leg higher. And try and relax those shoulders. Don't let them creep up into your ears here, okay? And again, I'm coming to a kind of diagonal view just so you can see what it looks like on the left side. Inhale, exhale, hold it back, little pulses up and up. Okay, reset your form. Hips square, hips level. Okay, you're facing one direction, so everything faces one direction, and your hips not lifted like this. All right, this is me leaning into the bar to get my leg higher. See, I'm dancing to the music. We're not doing that. Shoulders right over hips. Drop that leg up. Right here. Squeeze. Squeeze. Light grip on that support, whatever you're using, your bureau, your chair. Last 10 counts. 10, 9, you're squeezing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, release. Shake it out. It's gonna feel really tight on the corners. We're gonna do a quick set of fold over, and then you're done with your glute set for the day, okay? You're gonna face your support. You're gonna walk back so your arms are almost straight with a slight bend in your arm, okay? You're gonna lift your right leg off the ground, point your toe and lift your leg up to hip height, pulse up an inch, down an inch, up and down, up and down. Okay, so if you're new, let me explain what fold over is. I'm gonna kind of cheat the camera here so you can see what it looks like. So it's, ideally your toes are in line with your hips. Your leg might be down here. If it's all the way down here and you can't get it higher, you're gonna feel some strain on your back, so it's better to come up and do the position here. Or better yet, come to your hands and knees and do the same choreography as we would, just in a kneeling seat work position. Up an inch, down an inch, up and down. Okay, we're not here long, so my more advanced people, if you want to take releve on your standing foot, your left foot, come onto the ball of your foot now. I can't see you, but you should be able to know that you're moving this much. So I want you to think of how small an inch is. That's how much you're moving, okay? It's about an inch, that's it. And that inch is coming from squeezing your glute, not from lifting your leg. Faster, pulses up. Told you it was a quick set. All right, if you're on releve, okay, make sure you have a soft bend in your standing leg. If you're on your flat foot, I want you to shift your weight to the insole of your left foot to put a little more work into your working side. Try and relax your shoulders. Last 20. Make sure your left hip's over your left heel. If we switch sides, then you're all done with class. Inhale, exhale. Last 10. 9, I promise we'll stretch out your glutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Left toes go behind you. Here we go. Up an inch, down an inch, up and down. Little up, little down. You got it, just like that, all right? Little up, little down, little up, little down. So as I demo this, I know my leg is like moving so little, you probably can't even see it. A lot of bar class would be like that. Someone walking by and they could barely see what you're doing. They really have to stop and say, oh, I think they're moving their legs up an inch and down an inch. That's how sharp your movements are, but they're so small, nobody could see them from far away. Option releve, standing foot. You know about how long the set is, right? So do you want to take that option, releve, standing foot? We're actually almost done with class here. You've almost made it. Just our abs to wrap up class. Faster pulses, up, up, up. All right, so we want to square our hips down to the ground. Okay, so remember when we were standing up, I said hips square? Now square them down to the ground. If you're on releve, deeply bend that right knee a little more to get into your glute on the right side. If you're on a flat foot, shift your weight to the insole of your foot. Get a little zing up your inner thigh, taking a little pressure off that outside glute, shifting the work over to your left side. Again, ideal world, you feel this in your obliques on your left side. Last 10 counts, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Have a seat, right ankle over left knee. Let's stretch that out and lie down. Head relaxes. Feet are flexed. Left hand's on the outside, pulling your left knee toward you. Right hand is through your thighs. Clasp with your left hand and pull everything toward you. It's a seated figure 4 stretch is what it's called. Switch sides. Right ankle over left knee, right hand on the outside, left hand through, flex both feet, pull your leg toward you. Something people really like in class that I do is when I kind of stand up next to their right foot and press it in for them. I can't do that for you now. Can you do that for yourself? Pull that leg a little closer. And then roll on up. Let's come into some ab work here to wrap up your class. You only have about 5 minutes left here. It's going to be an intense set with no breaks. Thumbs on top of your thighs, fingers behind, elbows pop out wide to the side. Your feet are hip distance apart and parallel, okay? If you need support, you're gonna take a ball and hold it here so that it's handy, and I'll tell you where to put it. Thumbs on top of your thighs, fingers behind, elbows wide out to the side. Drop so that your knees are in line with your shoulders. You're gonna have to come to a low position. Look at your biceps. There should be some bulge in your biceps helping to pull you up. Now, if you need support, it should go in your mid-back, okay? Mid-back, elbows are wide, belly's pulled in. Hands off, little curls here, curl, curl. Okay, the curl is top rib over bottom rib. The curl is not chest moving like this. The curl is not neck moving like this. Think about your abs. Think about where your ribs meet, okay? You're curling there. Curl, curl. 10 more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold back on, elbows wide, belly in. Now, taking your hands off is too hard. You never have to take your hands off, okay? We're gonna come to a lower position that's even harder. Walk your feet closer towards you and drop. Right hand off. Curl right, curl right. It's so small. If your feet come off the ground, walk them closer. Tiny movement, curl, curl. Right here. Just 10 more. 9, you can do it. 8, 7, there's no break. The break is when you hold back on and catch your breath. 4, 3, 2, switch hands. Here we go. It's curl. If this is too much, hold on with both hands and just send your gaze to the left of your left knee. Now I'm in a low position. I'm looking up at my knees. I dropped about 3 inches, so I'm not here. I'm here. That's why it's so hard just to lift your hand off for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Come back higher. Take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Drop your right hand so it's at your mid-right thigh. Extend your right leg long. Curl, curl, left hand off. Curl to the right, 20. Curl, curl, and curl. If it's too much with that leg, just drop it or come a little bit higher, okay? And curl, 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 and curl. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lower that leg, hold back on. Left leg goes straight, right hand comes to the outside. Lower your left hand, curl, curl, right hand off, curl. Some of you can probably take both hands off. Do it if you can. I know it's a lot. We're almost done. Last 10 counts on the left side. 10, 9, 8, 7, drop it in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold back on. Both legs go straight. Roll back a little bit. You're on your sit bones now. Pull your belly into your spine. Hands off. 30 seconds. Hold, hold, hold. It's a teaser, okay? It's a teaser. This is instead of a plank, okay? This is instead of a plank. We're doing this teaser. Some of you are probably like, I wish we were doing a plank instead. Some of you, like me, probably are just happy we're doing this. Relax those shoulders. Belly in. Last 10 counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lie down. Toes point to the ceiling. Lift for 2. And lower for 2. Lift your hips up for 2. Lower for 2. You're like, what is she even doing there? I can't even see her. That's because what I'm doing is so small. Let me exaggerate it. It's a hip lift. This is how people look in class or in studios. And I walk by and I say, wow, they have to do that for 5 minutes to get the same thing if they just did it slow and purposeful toward the ceiling. Up for 2. Down for 2. Up for 2. Down for 2. 3 more. You get straight legs, even better. And down for 2. Don't put your hands under your butt. And knees into chest, rock side to side. Legs in tabletop. Fingertips behind your head. Bicycles, right, left, right, and left. Remember I said 5 minutes and you're done? You've reached it. This is the end. This is the last thing you're gonna do. Twist, twist. Now what I see people do is they pull those elbows in tight. That's your like upper back trying to help you, your neck trying to help you because it's so hard. Keep those elbows wide, like magnets are pulling them to the floor or heavy rocks are holding them down. That's gonna help keep your chest wide, keep the work in your abs. Now if that reduces your range of motion, that's totally normal and fine. Last 10 counts here, it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 release. You made it. Bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side. It's over. Find your strap or your t-shirt or your towel, bring your feet into it and lie down. Press your heels up to the ceiling. Rock side to side here. I'll wait for you to get here. And then release your right foot from the strap. Point it on the way down, flex it when it reaches the ground. Pull your left toes toward your nose. And then across your body a couple of inches toward your right shoulder. Okay, try and keep both hips on the ground. And then let that leg go out to the side. Towards your left shoulder. You can switch the straps to your left hand. We just want both hips facing the ceiling. Both hips stay on the ground. Back to center. Switch the foot that's in the strap. Try and get that right heel super high. Inhale, exhale. Right toes toward your nose. And then toward your left shoulder, cross your body a couple of inches. It's not a twist. And then out to the side toward your right shoulder. A straight leg in this stretch is better than a bent leg. So if your bent leg can come out here, instead I want you to straighten that leg toward your right shoulder. Inhale, exhale. And then back to center. Bring your right knee into your chest. Take that strap, place it to the side. Roll on onto your belly. If you practice yoga, feel free to come into a cobra pose. I'm going to demo Sphinx instead. Shoulders are right over your elbows. And then you're going to pull your chest through your arms as you pull your elbows toward your rib cage, arching your back. And then release. One more time. And then make a little pillow for yourself. Rest your head on your pillow, bend your legs in half, and windshield wiper them side to side. Let them get really heavy here. Your hips can move. Hips are moving. Everything feels super loose. Some of you can take a bow pose here where you reach for your ankles. If that's you, reach for those ankles and take a little bow pose. If you're like, I'm not going to do that, that's totally fine. Windshield wiper a little bit more. Or take a second, just pull your heels into your seat, rest your head. And then press on up. Sit in a butterfly stretch with our feet together. Soles of our feet together. Hold them as close or keep them as far as you want. Sit up super straight. Some of you are going to feel a stretch right away just from sitting like this. We're going to hinge forward with a flat back to stretch those hips out a little bit more. Stretch out those inner thighs. Flat back, so puff out your chest. And now round that back, chin to chest, nose toward your feet. You can use your elbows to press deeper into your calves. If you want a deeper stretch, maybe into your knees, depending on how long your arms are. Inhale, exhale. And then release, cross those legs. Take a deep breath. Inhale with the arms up. Reach for your left wrist, hinge to the right, stretching out those obliques. We did some oblique work today. Switch sides. Let's do a slightly deeper stretch if you feel able. Twist over. Left hand outside of right thigh, right fingertips behind you. If that feels too much, do this stretch one more time. Or if you like this stretch more. Switch sides. And then come back to center. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Jackie. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram under Beauty and Barre. Please like and subscribe and whatever you want. You can send me an email at beautyandbarre@gmail.com if you have any questions. Thank you so much for coming.